Hey guys, welcome to Saints TV Weekly for July 17th. Just want to take a quick moment to thank Inglewood Coffee Roasters, our major sponsor for Saints TV Weekly. Go on over to inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au, use the discount code SAINTS40 and you get 40% off coffee, tea and chai products. A lot of you have redeemed it, a lot of you message me and say how much you like the products, and Inglewood are very, very grateful for all of that. So if you're missing out on that at the moment, get on it. It's awesome, 40% off, a pretty good deal for some pretty good stuff. Okay, so we just want to quickly take a moment to send our condolences and our thoughts and prayers with the family of Alan Morrow, who was, I guess, the longest and oldest serving member of our 1966 Premiership winning side. He passed away during the week at age 86. He was, I guess, most famous for taking the final mark of the game, which happened to be his last game for St Kilda as well. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the Morrow family at this difficult time, but nonetheless, we are all going to remember Alan for what he did for the club, particularly on that very lucky day in 1966. Now, what wasn't a great day was Saturday footy. Bentley Social was off, or went off. It was a great crowd again, and unfortunately, that great crowd didn't get to see a great game. We went down to the Suns. Predictably, I guess, for a lot of people that had messaged me during the week feeling very uneasy about the game. And, mainly because they had sacked their coach, and there's always that coach bounce back, even though statistically it's really a 40% chance. It's, no better than our chance of winning the game, So, I don't know. We went down by 26 and it was just a really stale performance. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's just stale. We weren't there. We didn't challenge. They came out of the blocks. There's a few times we got within a couple of goals, but it just really, we really never got going. And again, we struggled to kick goals anyway. And if you're struggling to kick goals, being down by 20 at quarter time, which is what it was, that's a mountain to climb when you can't kick goals. And we only kicked 8 for the day, 2 for the first half. I think the best thing to come out of it was Ross Lyons' press conference, to be honest. The game itself, go look at my review. I rant a little bit. It's 10 minutes. You'll enjoy it. Go check that out. But Ross Lyons' press conference, that was the best thing to come from it. I watched that earlier today and it was great. It's probably his best presser for the season. I posted a bit of a snippet on Instagram on Sunday, and that was just the part where he talks about, one of the journos asked him about finals, and he's like, no point even thinking about that now, mate, because based on today and our last month, we don't deserve to make finals. We deserved it in the first part of the year because we were played to earn our right, but we're not earning that right at the moment, and if we play like we did against the Suns, he said, we'll struggle against North Melbourne, basically. And then I really liked what he said towards the end of that video, which was calling out, our senior boys, saying, when the top flight aren't going, I guess he was calling it the whole team, but when the top flight aren't going, we don't have enough quality underneath to pick up the slack, essentially. And our top flight haven't been going for a while. We know that, the odd game with Rowe and Crouchy and Steely, but none together, none consistently together. And then a lot of the weight's on the young kids who have done so much this year, but they can't do it all for the whole season. That's just so much weight. And he alluded to that. It's like Filippo and Caminiti in particular. They've taken on so much heat. Owens as well, So it was a really good process. So if you haven't seen it, Sainers, highly recommend go and check it out because it made me feel a little bit better knowing that Ross really does understand where we're at and he can really see the faults in individuals, which he alluded to as well. So this is a week where I'm going to look at selection very keenly because when I think we're going to make a lot of changes, we don't. But based on how he spoke in the presser, I feel like there's going to be a lot of players in the firing line this week. We'll go into some quick injury updates. Obviously, Max King was the big talking point last week in Saints TV Weekly, but it has come out that he's undergone an arthroscope on his injured shoulder, opening the door for a potential return to play this season by round 22, I think, is when they said that he could actually be back by. And we're moving into round, 19? At the moment, so it's not far away. It's a month away, essentially, when we thought his season was done. I still kind of think let's just take it easy and see how we go without him and don't rush him back because you just don't want to rush a player like him back. But apparently, he can't sustain really any further, damage to his shoulder if he did play this year. So if we are a chance of making finals and you need your best team on the park, you probably have to throw him in. But depends on how we're going in a month's time. So hopefully He can have a good month or, month and a half of recovery now, and we'll see how we're going around round 22, 23. But that's good signs. In terms of other injury news, obviously Josh Battle and Brad Hill returned yesterday. Jack Higgins is another one. I think he's probably a test for the North game. Matty Allison, Nick Caulfield training, which is good, back into full training as the club posted during the week. Zane Cordy should be back from concussion if all things go well. Dan McKenzie, TBC, as well as obviously Max King, about 4 to 5 weeks. Jack Billings, probably about a week away. Maybe training, depending on how he goes. Tim Membry, about 3 weeks away, but Ross did say in his presser that he's moving pretty quickly, so it could be sooner than that. Seb Ross, probably 3 to 4 weeks, around that mark as well. There's a couple of names there that could return. But yeah, there's going to be very interesting discussions in selection because it just wasn't a good enough performance on the weekend from a lot of the players that you expect to deliver on a weekly basis. It's a quick one today, Saints TV Weekly, not much going on, but I wanted to end it on this to just generate some discussions. Now, during the week, obviously we're talking about Barras and Himmelberg as that sort of half, that key back that we're looking for in the off-season, in the trade window and all that. But another one that came up that I heard whispers of was Bailey Smith. Now, Bailey Smith, I think, has a little over 12 months left on his contract at the Dogs, and already some news is circulating that Geelong are very interested in him, and they've already had some meaningful trade talks with Bailey Smith and his management. Former number 7 pick in the draft. I think he's a very good midfielder on his day. I think our midfield is probably the weakest, or bottom 3 weakest midfields in the competition, and we need, a player that can have some breakaway pace, can hit a target on a lead, accumulate the ball, pretty hard at it as well. Good demographic, he's at a good age as well. Still quite young at 22 years old. I'm just going to put it to you guys. What do you think? Do you think we should make a play for Bailey Smith? Obviously, it's going to be difficult because Geelong just get players. They just always get who they want, basically. And if they turn the season around like they're looking like, they're going to be even more of a destination club. But I'd like to think that if we can sneak finals this year, even if we just miss out, it'd be worth talking to someone like Bailey Smith. I don't know if we're a bit against it because of his history, I guess, off-field, but when you look at our midfield and you add him in there, you're like, gives it a little bit of speed. Zachy Jones adds it, but we can't guarantee we're going to get, consistent years out of Zachy Jones with the way his body is. But if you got Jones and then Smith in there, Steele, Crouch, develop a few youngsters in through there, maybe get another chop-out ruckman for Rowe, all this sort of stuff, it suddenly starts looking a bit better. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Saints. Put in the comments, would you make a play for Bailey Smith from the Dogs to get him to the Saints to be added to an addition to our midfield that needs multiple additions in my eyes? We're just getting smashed every week. Against the Suns, clearances were 40 to 27. You're never winning games like that. We just constantly get beaten there, and it just puts our backs under so much pressure. So let me know your thoughts, Sainers. Put them in the comments. As always, please like the video and subscribe. We've got over 7,000 now. I should, in the next week, pick a winner for the Rui signed portraits, so there is time. It's not like it ends at 7,000 and everything after that doesn't count. If you haven't subbed, subscribe, and then you might actually win the Rui thing. So yeah, I'll wrap it up there, Saints. Thank you very much for watching. Podcast will be out, all the content during the week as usual. Saints TV Live, my preview, all of that stuff will be out during the week, so stay tuned for that. Enjoy the rest of your week, Saints, despite the result on the weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and as always, go you mighty Saints. See you guys.